Okay, good evening. Welcome to my 12th of September 2022 live stream. We are one day later than normally. Normally we do Sunday. We're trying it on a Monday tonight. And hopefully that works out well for the usuals that tune in. I'd like to say hello to Cider Guy. First time I've seen you in the chat for a while, my friend. So thanks for joining us tonight. Maria, Susan, NR, and Mod Like Digging Up the Thames also commented earlier on. So yeah, thanks you guys for tuning in. Also, before we start, let me just say a thanks to my supporter over on Patreon. You can find details in the description, and there's a QR code. So thanks to Maria, thanks to Linda Mike for supporting me over there. Also, another way you can support this channel is by hitting the thumbs up button and subbing and sharing on social media. I've put a tweet out if anyone wants to retweet that. If you follow me over there, always appreciated. Thanks to everyone that does do that. I'm just going to check my audio. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, we seem to be sounding good. I know there was a suggestion of buffering going on in the comments, so yeah, if it's playing back unbearably rubbish, then I kind of think you've got to blame YouTube on that. I think I've done everything I can to set this stream up. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, in the pre-show we watched a video by Bart Sibrel. I'm curious what you guys think on that gentleman. I know he's been interviewed by Russian vids, RV Truth, who basically said he thought the guy was a Mason. But yeah, now he's released a confession, deathbed or pre-recorded deathbed confession from someone whose father was involved in the event. Some of these things I think you've got to take with a pinch of salt. So, but of course we've also heard even more crazy things coming out the mouth of people like Buzz Aldrin and people who were actually on the rockets that supposedly took off. Yeah, Bart Sibrel has put out some interesting videos. A crazy thing happened on the way to the moon, or Astronauts Gone Wild, I believe they're called. Yeah, there's a link to his video. Check out his channel to watch the rest of that video we watched in the pre-show. I will put a link in the description as well. Big news this week, of course. Thursday, I just got through putting up a video about Coronation Street, covering footballers falling down dead. And I then saw the news about Elizabeth. Ever since, I don't put the news on anyway, but I wouldn't waste my time. I mean, we'll have a look at it tonight just for the sake of looking at it. And I guarantee you the only story these idiots will be talking about is this passing. Wouldn't it be crazy if none of it was real life and it was all just... The more they talk about something, the more it is scripted. That would be my suggestion, my suspicion. I know a lot of... just looking in the chat, I know Maria Ellender suggested it's all Photoshop. I'm curious how far back that goes then. We're going to watch a video supposedly of the Queen's sense of humour by The Guardian, I think it was. And some of them, yeah, I'm confident it is CGI. No, and I don't think people would even be too surprised to find that some of that is CGI. But yeah, we'll look at that later. We'll be looking at that probably in the second part of this stream. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll start with it, actually. I do have one or two other stories to cover. Well, yeah, we'll be going on till about 10 p.m. this evening. Let's see. I will do my usual catch-up, though. Just to let you guys know how the little... Yeah, tonight... well, yeah, I hope you guys don't mind indulging in my world of cats. Cats. Chup. Right, let me show you the little sweethearts. Okay, where are we? We will start with this fella. We call him... I'm probably told you plenty of times what we call this one. Hang on, just waiting for the thing to catch up. I'm just going to check playback is working alright. Well, yeah, we'll be going on to the... It seems to be a bit of a delay. And my computer's not working at its fastest, so yeah, please forgive any rubbishness. Right, this cat's still hanging around. We did see a couple of doors down from us, someone's got a very similar looking cat, but much smaller, but it's got all the black splodges that this one does. Whether they're related, I don't know, but he seems to want to spend all his time sleeping on our doorstep, which is a bit suspicious. So yeah, we make sure he doesn't go without too much. Another one, who's next? Right. Come on, computer, wake up. There we go. Right, where were we? We had Splodge. Peach. This one is the one that gave birth in our spare room the other, last Saturday it was, so that's 9 days ago now, so we've got 9-day-old kittens in a room, we can't actually get to them. And yeah, we're giving her time, but goodness knows what mess we're gonna have to clear up once she finally takes them out the drawer. I was saying last week we were in two minds. Do we go and tell the owners that... Oh, hang on, I just realised my text isn't lined up. Cat's Chup. That should be on top of it really, but never mind. Hang on. Right. Okay, we'll go back to Cat Chup. Yeah, we spoke to the owners, we found them, we tracked them down, and they couldn't care less. They said, yeah, we actually used to have 10 cats, we've only got 2 left now. They all went off and found other homes. One of which is this one. And we told them we got kittens and told them where to come, you know, if they're in work, you know, want to know how their cat's doing. And they didn't seem to care less, so she's going to be more of a permanent visitor, I'm guessing. Who knows though, situations like that, they can go again just like that. She might end up taking them out the drawer and going off somewhere else with them, so... Right. This is our Tom, faithful Tom, lovely Tom. 13 years old, been with us pretty much for as long as we've lived in this place, and he's been off colour the last few days. He's just been curled up on the bed. Happens, you know, although he started getting up the last couple of mornings, so yeah, I'm praying him that he will be back to his old self soon. Regulating all the cats, not letting them step out of line. But yeah, this little one, she's got a bit aggressive actually. Here's another sweetheart that again has been coming over to us probably nearly 10 years now. Pink, we call her, and yeah, she's always around. But I didn't mention in the last one. Right, this is Mr. White, who we didn't see for a couple of weeks, and he turned up looking an absolute state. He's back to his old, I would say he's looking pretty much back to his old self now, I'm pleased to say. And the little Persian is back with us today. She's out in the garden. There's a chance I might get interrupted by the owners knocking the door wanting their cat back. So if that happens, I will be jumping onto a pre-prepared Bobby's Best Bits. So my apologies if there is a... Oh, come on mouse, get working. Apologies if we get a slight interruption. Yeah, sorry to anyone that's not a fan of cats, but I've got to share them with you. If you don't like cats, you don't really like Bobby Z, I'll be honest with you, because I'm all about the little... Well, they... Anyway. Okay. That is the end of catch up. Right, have a look at the live chat. Yeah. Maria, Linda Mack, greetings. Good to see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. Maria says the timing is suspicious. Platinum Jubilee, new Prime Minister Harry and Meghan in the UK, really? Yeah, considering what took place just 2 days before, where she welcomed in a new Prime Minister. Oh, wrong image. I meant to close the text down, hang on. Yeah, it was particularly suspicious isn't a bad word, is the correct word. Cider Guy suggests our views calls everyone a Mason. I got no bad words to say about Russian vids. Yeah, gotta be honest and say he was an inspiration for me making a channel. I remember telling him some information about the event on London Bridge, and I told him and a couple of other channels, and no one really cared, or not cared. That's not right, but they were busy making their own videos on it. So I thought I'm going to make one myself on it, and that's pretty much why I started my first channel. Well, not my first channel, but the previous channel to this one. So yeah, although having said that, some of the other channels that I really liked when I first started the Obby Lines, which is my original channel, my opinions changed massively on them, and a lot of them, it's just how it goes, I guess. Right, anyway. Yeah, Maria continuing on, suggesting it was all photoshopped. They even showed us a holographic queen at the Jubilee. They like to show us in plain sight. It helps their magic work. Possibly they're at a point now where things are so controlled, people are so vaxxed up that they don't even question it anymore. They're completely agreeing with hang on, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, they're completely agreeing with everything they read about in the press. I remember going into the newsagent on Friday, and it must have been Friday because I wouldn't go in a shop on a Saturday. Maybe it was Thursday actually. Every single newspaper had pretty much the same image, black and white image of the Queen, with more or less the same headline. It's the sort of thing that can drive you mad, and that's why I was reluctant actually to even to talk about it. I thought maybe people want to break from hearing about this old hag. Some people love the person, but yeah, as we're gonna see, is everything, at least since the Jubilee, just been CGI? That's what I'm thinking. Maybe even before that, and you've got to ask if everything prior to the Jubilee was CGI and Photoshop. Sorry, everything since, and who's to say everything prior wasn't also heavily manipulated in one way or another? Right, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. We have a couple of vids that... where is the first one? Right. Yeah, on some of these articles there's some videos that I want to inspect. Well, and pictures for that matter. This was 2 days prior. Hang on, let's see if I can line up the site better. Yeah, we will be inspecting this image because this was literally taken 2 days before she died. So while we wait for that to go into reading mode, yeah, I'm pretty confident there's a video on here somewhere. Right, we'll get a close-up of that one. In fact, right-click save. No. Alright, bear with me. Just got to wait for my computer to catch up with what I'm asking it to do. Right, here we go. We'll just take a close-up of Lizzie. I mean, would the Queen really just be standing around like that in her home waiting for this woman to come and join her? Maybe. Perhaps she has to stand up for the... Yeah. Was anyone there in the first place? It's pretty much a closed set, isn't it? Everywhere and everything the Queen has been and everything she does is usually a closed set. I doubt there's many close-ups we got of this one. Right. Hang on a minute. Yeah, where was the video we wanted to watch? I'm not going to read the story. You know what it says. Look at those deer heads. What do we think? Padding much? Padded out? Wide shoulders? I always thought Margaret Thatcher was quite a blatant one. Who was the other one? The one with the very long, thin face. The last female Prime Minister. Interesting, when I was growing up, that was a massive thing to have a female Prime Minister. Well, not massive, but it was pretty revolutionary. And now we've had 3 of them. And they're all kind of identical, in a way. They've all been Tory as well, Conservative Party. Liz Truss. Is there something in the name Truss? Does that mean... what's a truss? Isn't that where you tie something... Yeah. Isn't that a type of tie, I believe, a truss? Right, convert. While I'm waiting for this, I'll catch up in the live chat. Apologies if I miss any comments. Right, Cider Guy says, so here's a question. When do most people think the Queen actually died? You have to ask, Cider Guy, in my opinion, if they're prepared to fake the last few months of her life, then they're prepared to fake all of it, I think, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Not the best picture quality as usual. And obviously this isn't the original folder. Right, we're going to zoom in a bit on... yeah, just seeing if there's any obvious outlining, any obvious choppiness around the legs particularly. One way we can do that is change the colours. Is it hue and saturation, I believe. This is using GIMP, G-I-M-P. That isn't there. Right. Yeah, the hands look very black and bruised, unless she's just got some sleeve on. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's overly choppy. There are some hints of blockiness, but then being such a low resolution image, that's one thing that always interests me. Why are the images that they share always such terrible quality? I mean, people are walking around with mobile phones that could take a better picture than this. I'd say the ear looks a bit out of colour on this one. We do have to go right in on it. I don't know if you can see that. Perhaps the Queen just did happen to have a different colour ear to the rest of her body. Anything's possible. Oh my goodness. anything is possible. Yeah, this nice, very square eyes actually. There's no white. And yeah, as I said, different colour ear to the rest of her. Just around there. Not a lot of shadow on her. I would say these are going to be the top end photo. You know, what we see in terms of, they look like hoofs, don't they? They look almost animal-like in appearance. Yeah, a lot of the photo, you know, I believe we see a lot of photoshopped images shared on social media. Some of the ones we see on Instagram of, like, I won't call them Z-list celebrities, but you know the sort of people I mean. And the people that do those images are, yeah, these, yeah, they probably aspire to go up to photoshopping images of the Queen that will be used all around the world. But yeah, pretty clever stuff though, how they can, I don't know if you can see that, it almost looks like a separate colour face just here. Right, I'll try and alter the colours a little bit. Right, I don't know if this will change much. Right, here we go. I'm not sure if we can make that any more obvious, like, yeah, if you can sort of see the very, it looks very digital. Anyway, yeah, that's one image. Another one, which I think is worth looking at, is, yeah, there's a video of her meeting Paddington Bear. Right. So how long, Cider Guy, since do I think the Queen's been dead? Look at those manly legs, though. Come on. They are pretty masculine legs that we're looking at there. I remember first being suspicious of something, and then we saw them in public. So, when was that? Possibly pre-Bullspit 19, which was the beginning of 2020. So, yeah, I would say probably could, if she ever lived to begin with, and wasn't just a series of actors playing a role, then who knows? Yeah, no, I'm going to sit with it. Who says she's ever even been alive? We'll soon see. Cider Guy says the last Queen's speech was very sus. I don't remember it actually. Perhaps we'll watch a video of that. I do remember people saying she looked CGI'd actually, and why wouldn't they? I want to find this Paddington Bear video. This is it. This one is by The Guardian. This is the Queen's snappy sense of humour. Right. Let's just see.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always...
Oops. Just looking in the live chat while this video loads. Susan, love your cat info. They're so sweet. Thank you very much. Glad you like it, Susan. Cider Guy, it's mass formation psychosis, the same as the pandemic. They want people on the doorstep at 8 PM Sunday night to celebrate. Is that what people are supposed to do? I did go into my local town centre the very next day, and I know not one single shop had closed in memory of her or anything. And it was interesting how many shops covered the Jubilee, you know, put Union Jacks out. Do you think they'll shut for one day in respect? I bet they'll be absolutely fuming if they have to now lose a day by closing. I bet we'll see. We'll see if they can shut down the whole of. Well, yeah, if they can shut everything down for the last, you know, for the best part of 2 years, then they can probably shut places down as quick as they like, really. So maybe that will happen for the Queen, but this is the 19th, I know that much, which I believe is a Monday. Yeah, here is more evidence of the Queen being CGI. Hang on. Here she is, right, talking to Paddington Bear. And are we supposed to believe that, how old is the Queen meant to be? 96, 97? She looks a lot different now, by the way, to what we saw in the previous photo. Are we expected to believe that a 97-year-old... Wow, look at that eye. That is one creepy looking eye. Are we supposed to believe... Yeah, she just sat there, did talk to thin air. At the very least, they would have brought a stand-in in to do it. And then they probably overlaid CGI on top of it, I would have thought. Right. It is one demonic looking eye. I don't know if you know goats, they have goats have rectangular eyes, sort of on the slant, and yeah, that is creepy as you like. And this is supposed to be high def TV, or high, you know, I don't know. Yeah, so very demonic looking eye. That mouth looks absolutely robotic when it talks. And you'll see she hasn't always had this mouth, because they're going to show us some other images of her. And to be honest, again, let's have a look. Let's do another close-up on the side of this face. Can we see? Okay, so already the eye, in my opinion, looks sus as F. Although this one looks a lot better. That maybe could be the original eye of the... Oh, who knows? No, it isn't. It's an overlay. You can see the different colour right here, in my opinion. It's an overlay. And some sort of mechanical face. Almost like a talking waxwork. Also, something very lifeless about that person when they're talking to Paddington Bear. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to hear that that was CGI. I wouldn't have thought they would even hide that fact, but who knows. Here we see, this is meant to be the humorous side of Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm not sure what happens here. She forgets how to use a knife by the look of it. Right, you've got a whole room full of people here, so you really would assume someone turned up to do what we're about to see now, okay? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go back that far. Alright. They struggle to cut a cake. Strange behaviour. This is meant to be the Queen. Great sense of humour. I know you can't actually see or hear what's being said, but Actually, maybe we want to hear
background.
Maybe we want to hear what she's got to say a minute. Clearly a wig this person's wearing. I don't think that is the fakest hairpiece I think I've ever seen.
Yes, I was background.
Oh, hang on. I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit on that one. Make sure that it's up for you guys as well.
Yes, it does.
I mean, Johnny, like, it'd be awful if you said no. 'Cause I don't know.
I can't stand listening to the voice, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm going to have to mute that. I hate the voice so much. A lot of green there, overlapping onto the back of her neck. Yeah, this person, in fact, we'll put both images up together. Supposedly taken within, you know, a couple of years of each other, if that. Right, while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to have a look at the live chat. Anna asks, where is the Queen now then? Well, who knows? Yeah, some people would suggest that if it were a real person, yeah, I think the suggestion would be that she is, one way or another, no longer with us. Right. Yeah, pretty different looking face in my opinion. They kind of look... Yeah, not the most similar. But yeah, can't get over that white hair. I think that's a quite standout for me. Here she is with Boris. I guess this is fairly recent. Supposedly she said, are we supposed to look like we're having a good time or something? Here you've got, is that Joe Biden? Wow, are these supposed to be all the... and that's someone to do with Trump. I can't remember who that guy is. But I guess these are all the world leaders, are they? Yeah, probably every single one is standing, I would have thought. Just a press shot, so they're not going to use... Well. Just looking at this guy, has no shadow whatsoever. Don't know if you've noticed that. His chair kind of looks like it's floating. The Queen, very little shadow. I mean, it's a fairly bright day. Boris, again. Okay, maybe it's... I don't know. All these people look like they've just been stuck over... stuck one on top of the other. Yeah, not particularly difficult to do with a bit of video editing software. Easy done. Who knows what that is, walking up this pathway with this man. Yeah, never met this person myself. But I certainly know people who say and claim to have met her son and her grandchildren, so someone, well, yeah, who was otherwise, who was frequenting, where was it they claimed she lived? They were, I don't know, did they really say she ever lived in Buckingham Palace in the middle of London? And they were frequently reporting intruders and stuff. Yeah, this is typical bullspit. Absolute blatantly scripted. Harry supposedly showing her with, I mean, this, how they managed to line this shot up to perfectly get the message. So I think it's something to do with the Invictus Games, isn't it? It's an advert. Meaning they've lined these two, yeah, possibly never even in the same room together. Looks very unusual in that pose. Yeah, they look very, very soap opera style to me. Freak shows, a lot of them. Yeah, if these people truly ever lived in those locations where we're told they live, yeah, dread to think. There is images of the Queen taking part in a Druid festival. I'm not sure if I saw it on Twitter or on YouTube, but yeah, I'd have to try and find that one. But yeah, she does blatantly take part in a, let me find it a minute, I'll see if I can find it. Queen Druid, that should be enough. Let's see. Oops. Whoops. Anna, I apologise. I accidentally deleted one of your messages. That wasn't deliberate. People won't know the truth. Cider guy dug into the borders at Windsor Castle, I reckon. Yeah. Linda Mack says they all have doubles. Of course they do. Absolutely, 100% they do. The film Devil's Double is about the Iraq Prime Minister, or President, sorry, Saddam Hussein, and one of his sons' doubles. So yeah, the families of leaders most certainly have doubles, 100%. Even most celebrities have doubles, to be honest. So, right, here is Princess A. Walsh Bard. I think this is the one. Royal Highness attends a national Eisteddfod Fest of Wales. I think it's a Druid ritual she took part in. So, I did know someone who was a Druid once, actually, and it was, they had supposedly found a load of bones in, yeah, and they had put some bones of like a real prehistoric human being, they claimed it was, and put them in a museum, and this Druid campaigned for the bones to be returned to the earth, saying that as a part of a, you know, that these people shouldn't be, yeah, that their resting place should be the ground, not in a museum, which is kind of fair enough. My thought was, though, it was probably plaster of Paris anyway. I expect any bones that they put in, well, who knows. Yeah, suspicious stuff. Right. Susan says, has anyone heard the video Jeanette Archer exposing her experience of satanic abuse at the royal hands? No, but it's something we could certainly look at. Jeanette Archer. I'm guessing probably not on YouTube, hey? Jeanette Archer. Ooh, okay. Wall Street Journal, okay. I'm not sure if I will play this actually, but I'll leave a link. Well, yeah, you guys can. I have heard some unpleasant and stories about that kind of thing going on. Not actually to do with the Queen herself, although I do remember seeing it reported, or not see someone. Oh, hang on, sorry, bear with me 1 second. Oops, sorry, lovey. I shut the door on the cat whose kittens are in the drawer, so she's not been able to get to him, but she doesn't seem too annoyed. Hang on 1 second, people. Bear with me 32 seconds. Oh, okay. Hopefully you're picking the audio up again. And there's no dead air. Oh my goodness, I didn't know the cattle music has been playing all this time. My apologies. I do mean to shut that off. Hopefully it wasn't too distracting. Susan, I haven't seen the... no, I haven't come across this story. 1,400 girls allegedly abused by a gang in Rotherham. Isn't that just where they blame Asian people? I mean, I'm not saying Asian people weren't taking part in what this is going on. But, yeah, isn't those North of England ones all involving... Okay. But no, I haven't heard that one. Nothing to do with... yeah, perhaps we'll do a search for that, or if you have a links to any videos, Susan, you are able to leave them in the live chat. Oh, Falcon's Cafe did the video. I doubt it would have stayed up long, but who knows? Have a look at Angela Jackson's work. She photographs famous people, body doubles, and if you didn't know, you would believe they were the real people. Thank you for that one. Yeah, we'll have a look at Angela Jackson, definitely. Yeah, of course these people... I once watched the Christmas lights being switched on by supposedly the guy from Coronation Street, who played... I can't even remember the actor's name now, but... Ryan Thomas, I think he was. He played Jason Grimshaw in Coronation Street, and he supposedly was in pantomime there, so he was meant to turn on the Christmas lights. The guy... Yeah, they had a big screen up so you could see all the acts going on, and just before this guy comes on stage, they turn off the big screen, and he comes out with a cap on and his hood over his head. And, you know, because I also saw, not that I don't attend Christmas tree lights anymore, because it goes against, the word of God, basically, to celebrate Christmas, so I don't involve myself in those sort of celebrations anymore. But a later one I went to also involved the actor. Oh, what's that? He's a dwarf or a midget. I can't even think of his name now. Right, we're going to have a look at the photographer Angela Jackson. Right, just letting my computer catch up a minute. Photographer, I'll put. Right, I'll go to images. Nope, I will not allow them to use my current location. Otherwise, we'll go to celebrity lookalikes and have a look at them. Linda Max says the Beatles all had doubles. One was permanently replaced. Oh, I can't even remember. Right, hang on. What would you search? Celebrity look alikes. I remember seeing a tribute act for Britney Spears, and it was actually a young man that was doing it, and they'd made him look just like Britney Spears. Yeah. It's almost like they're using fake eyes, probably. Both of them have just got the same eyes, same eyelashes. Very minor difference on the shape of the face between these two people. Yeah, I can't even. Maybe I'll look for it. It's a bit. Hang on. Yeah, we're done watching the Queen. Britney Spears tribute. Let's see. Yeah, it was a guy being interviewed. I can't remember who by exactly, but yeah, the guy looked. Yeah, they managed to make this young bloke look very much like Britney Spears, which isn't really a surprise. And he said that they pad them out and they tuck things away, and it isn't difficult at all, supposedly. Can't find it now. Interview. Right, tribute act. Hang on. It was like a stage show about Britney Spears. Maybe that's what I should be looking at. Okay. Not able to find it, unfortunately, but I have to have another look. Right, we may possibly do an intermission if we're going to do one this week. Is there some? Hang on. Let me just check everything's playing back all right. Looks like there might be some sort of delay going on. My apologies if you're not seeing the images that I'm picking up. Hang on. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, hopefully playback's alright. Looks like the audience is dropping, and so I'm wondering if it's gone down, possibly. Right. Alison Jackson Photography. Maria, I will have another look in a second. Google her work, you'll be amazed. Something wrong with her hands, and I don't mean the bruising. Yeah, you're absolutely correct with the Queen. Do we actually know the cause of death? I hadn't. I'm not sure if they've come out and released that, have they? Is it just old age? Where's the tribute act? Affected area, good greetings, good to see you in the live chat, as it is KG. Affected area says, I suspected this was fake and didn't even examine it. Sometimes these give off a vibe. Yeah, everything from the mainstream press that gets absolutely massive coverage usually seems to be fake and not worth examining. Right. Yeah, we're going to maybe take a 5-minute, and when we come back, we'll be looking at a follow-up to the video I made about... Yeah, I did think it... Well, yeah, the video I did it about Coronation Street, and another incident with footballers. We'll cover it after the quick intermission. Right, I do want to catch up with the live chat before we take the intermission now. Maria says, the word above the fire inscribed in the word impune means unpunished. They may be unpunished for a short while, but also sounds like immune, actually, doesn't it? Susan says, good to see you... found a video about clinkers, our melted reality. Also, while I was searching, I Am Carious came up. Yeah, I have... You guys have suggested, quite a lot of really interesting YouTube channels over the last few weeks. And I'm sure one of them actually made a reference to once Boris Johnson goes, it will tie in with the passing of the Queen, and I can't remember which YouTuber it was now, but I'm sure someone suggested that as soon as Boris goes, she will also go. I can't remember who it was now, though. You thought Liz Truss must be really tall, but she's only 5'3". Wow. NR asks, Liz Truss, is she even real? We will have a look and just see how manly she actually looks. Affected area says maybe the CGI effect, quite clever of them to sneak it in with CGI bear, and at the same time it's a clue. Yeah, but surely no one seriously expects a 95-year-old woman, however old she was back then, to sit in a room with a pretend Paddington Bear, do they, and read lines. That's impossible. And if they did, I mean, you think professional actors, how long it takes them to... how long it takes professional actors to sometimes just do a scene, particularly when you're doing one... Oh, I don't know. Maybe it would be easier to do with... Yeah, that didn't look like a 96-year-old woman. It looked like an actor, basically. NR, you say the Illusion predicted the Queen to die this year. Yeah, well done to him, NR. That's very true. There is definitely something about the numbers. 19 seems like quite a big one with the Queen. I know she's meant to be being buried on the 19th, and what a ridiculous expense that will be. With supposedly, the British people hardly even able to pay their electric bills. They keep telling us. We'll see. I'm not going to be afraid of anything the mainstream press tells me, 'cause for one thing, I don't listen to it anyway. So they might be continually reporting about financial crap and whatnot. But we'll, of course, be able to afford a nice expensive send-off for the Queen. That is a given, in fact. Yeah, Liz Truss, you wouldn't think she was only... She does look quite large, I know what you mean. Although unless you see them up against other people, it can be difficult to tell sometimes. Right. Okay, a quick 5-minute break then. Yeah, there seems to be a big delay on the live stream, so I hope it's playing back alright. My apologies if it isn't. Sorry if you've had to put up with some buffering tonight. Yeah, we're going to take 5 minutes then. What's our playing video? Yeah, it's about the Queen, actually. It's one I made, the reality of Harry and Meghan's wedding. Goes back to 2019, I believe. Live Zones playlist, what does that mean? Let's see. Play in the reality of Harry and Meghan's wedding. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with this video. It's only about 3 minutes long. Hopefully it'll be enough time for me to refill my drink and whatnot. If we go over, it will start looping, but my apologies for that is all I can say. But yeah, it shouldn't be much more than 3 minutes on this quick intermission. And then when we come back, yeah, we'll look at another ridiculous sports star collapsing story. Yeah, I see Susan says I'm buffering. Thank you. I'm not too sure what I can do about that, really. I should have a pretty steady connection, so I don't know on that one, but thank you for letting me know. Linda says I saw a really good double of the Queen on an episode of Mr. Bean. Yeah, that's very true. And I do think they probably deliberately have a deliberate lookalike way of presenting someone. They won't, when it's done for TV and you're supposed to know it's a lookalike, they'll make sure you know it's a lookalike by maybe slightly overdoing the eyes, or I mean, who knows, could be the same actress, but they've just made them look slightly different in order to say, yep. Okay, I'm going to have to take a quick 5-minute then. I'm sorry that YouTube seems to be massively delayed tonight. Let me see. Yeah, my apologies, okay? Hope the video is watchable and isn't too bad. Usually seems to be. Maybe I'll reset. Perhaps the audio's okay, it's just the... Oh, okay. Alright, hopefully this doesn't buffer too much as well. And I'll be back in... I'll be back in 5 minutes, okay? Well, 3 minutes or so. I did want to... Yeah, okay. Alright, guys, I'll be back in about, 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Hey everyone, I just thought I'd show you this interesting parallel, according to the mainstream media, The Independent, regarding the phony fake royal wedding of Harry and Meghan. What they're telling us, thousands of well-wishers from around the globe have descended on Windsor as the wedding of Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle approaches. Come at a reading view. Let's see if they can show us any pictures of the thousands of adoring fans that have turned out for this wedding. Okay, thousands of well-wishers, remember? Okay, a couple of rows of people here. This isn't actually the wedding. Pretty empty street. Don't see the thousands of people that have turned out. Look, okay, you can see maybe 6 people in this photo. All very close shots. Right here, you've maybe got, I don't know, 15, 20 people that are all huddled in together, so that it can look like there's thousands of people in this shot. So look at the thousands of people greeting her, no one there. Okay, maybe, what, 8 people in this shot? There we go, look at all that space, there's hardly anyone there at all. Now I'm not gloating, I'm not being mean, saying that no one turns out, but the reality is, despite what the press will try and tell you, this wedding has no more relevance on people's lives than the wedding of Ken and Deirdre Barlow in the Coronation Street. Or when Phil Mitchell married, I don't know, Sharon. It's as relevant as that to them. I mean, watching things like EastEnders has gone royal wedding mad tonight. It's actually a bit much. And then Coronation Street, spoilers, Rita Sullivan and Liz McDonald pay tribute to the Princess Diana. The press are pushing on the idea that everyone cares about this wedding, everyone's going to be out celebrating. Look out of your street now if you're watching this on the day. I bet there's not a single Union Jack out, specifically for them. No one has parties like they're suggesting they do on Coronation Street. I know schools were forcing kids to commemorate the event, but that doesn't count because they're being forced at school. So like I say, there's a stark contrast between the reality and what they're trying to push as reality, which, like I say, I call this a phony fake wedding. I don't believe they're actually getting married. I don't believe either of them are. I don't believe we know the truth about either of these people, Harry and Meghan. Neither of these people are as they appear. Make a point about their appearance, but look at this woman's chin. What's going on there? Look at that. Is that an Adam's apple? And this guy, well, there's something weird about his forehead. They could be in makeup. They could have wigs on for all we know. These people are not as they're shown. And I challenge anyone, look at the street you live on the day of the wedding, or think back to it. Did anyone have a party? Did anyone celebrate it? No, no one cares. Right, that's my video. Thanks very much. Okay, welcome back. Sorry if there was a bit of a delay at the end there. We had a bit of dead air, I believe. Yeah, that was my 2018 video looking at what the press will report, we believe, about, they'll tell us, like when Diana passed on, for example, they would have had us believe that everyone was out in the street crying. No, didn't know. I remember they shut the world down pretty much. They shut Saturday morning down for the for the Queen's wedding. Basically, all the shops did actually stop for the morning, I think, out of respect for... I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, not much open that morning. Right. Yeah, there's a huge delay by the look of things. Let me just check, actually, how it's going. Right. Yeah, it seems the stream is quite a bit behind, so hopefully it still ties in with the live chat. Susan said it was when you were buffering talking about the Queen. Yeah, that's typical, hey. Who knows? Would YouTube deliberately try and mess up my live stream? You never know. Maria... Oh, by the way, in the chat, I noticed Maria said bone cancer. Was that in response to me asking how the Queen died? Because I didn't know she was supposed to have that. RJ Wild, by the way, greetings, good to see you in the live chat. You said she took both pricks, so proves she's dumb and that you don't trust much of what she says. Am I right? You also says she married a lord and she's not a man. Come on. See, I'm not sure about the Queen. She doesn't look particularly wide in the places. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, you can. Anyway, I don't know. The sacrifices these people will go to be where they where we see them in these positions is insane. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at anything anymore when it comes to who we see in the mainstream media and their gender. I think it's so widespread that it wouldn't surprise me to find out even the Queen, and again, or even at least some of the doubles that they used to play that role. Well, I'm just looking at the playback, and it looks like you guys are only just seeing the start of the video we played at the intermission. So yeah, it shows how far behind the stream is. Perhaps it had to catch up, I don't know. Right. Affected area. Greetings if I've not said hello to you. Warwick Davis. Yes, you're absolutely right. We're talking about lookalikes. I watched, I saw Warwick Davis, and when he came out to turn the lights on, he was in his pantomime outfit, because he was apparently in the pantomime in nearby Bath, I believe it was, or Swindon, one or the other. And to promote it, he came out and turned on the lights in my local town that I live in, which is a bit outside Bath. But compared to when the actor that played Jason Grimshaw came out, there was a big delay. We were told he was just getting ready, so you think, well, he's getting ready. What does that mean? He's putting on his pantomime outfit, coming out looking like, I think he was supposedly playing the genie, something about, I don't know, Aladdin maybe. And aren't they camp places, theatres? Lots of men dressing up in women going on there as well, of course, like Storytime Hour. It brings me on. I sort of want to talk about it, but I'm not sure. I remember, I don't know if any of you remember, I said back when they were doing Gay Pride Month, for some reason it got a whole month now, I was in a pub in the town, and because the person that runs it is gay, they were doing a Gay Pride after party there or something, and and transgender people, like they do in most places, frequent this establishment. Seeing a man in makeup in there isn't unusual, you know. Oh, I'm not going there. It's a horrible story about a transgender that came over and started talking to me and my wife. You know, we get people come over and talk to us. We haven't really got a problem with it. Until, for me, I did start having a problem with it. And not just because it was a man dressed as a woman. It was because they started defending the reason why they'd been dismissed from their place of work, although I think it was only voluntary. Because we always saw them in this particular establishment shop, and they told us that they had been dismissed because they used the women's toilets, and they were really weird about it, really cagey about it, what actually happened. But we got it out of them. Supposedly they pulled a face at a group of kids in the toilet, and the mother or father, whatever, who was in there complained about it. Sorry, obviously the mother was in there with them, and they ended up losing their job over it. Maybe because they charged out screaming and they used their previous name, but I just didn't want to hear it. It reminded me of Tranny Time Story Hour, where they're reading to kids, and it turns out some of the people that are doing the reading I wouldn't be surprised sometimes to hear. I've mentioned this before in an episode of, do you remember, I'm not sure if any of you remember The New Statesman with Rick Mail, where he was a Tory politician, and in the story he keeps visiting someone who's literally hiding underground because of some horrible thing they did. I'm not sure if they stole loads of people's money or if they might have been responsible for some accident, but anyway, they were living in an disused underground railway station, and they were gradually transitioning to a female. so that when they came out, no one, you know, they could carry on in politics and no one would have any idea about that, you know, they were basically running away from something. And I do wonder if some people that decide to change their gender might have ulterior motives. You can understand it if you were convicted and guilty of a horrific crime in one form or another, and you then get released. Wouldn't you want to get away from your previous identity? I don't know. Not that I'm suggesting this person that came over and defended themselves. Anyway, let's not go there. That's why I didn't really want to talk about it, because it's. Yeah, I remember they mentioned something actually, and it shocked me. Not shocked me, but they mentioned a pub they go to, and they used a particular word that, it made me feel sick to hear him say it. He was talking about, because this is blatantly a man. He doesn't even behave like a woman. This is a man walking around dressed as a woman, still shouting, swearing, drinking pints of beer, just carrying on, but in thick makeup, inappropriately short dresses, and people take offence to it, which you can kind of understand. And I don't necessarily take offence to that, to their choice of doing that, but I do take offence to the rest of what they came out with. And then when they said about they go to a pub, and the words they used were anything goes, and I think when you hear anything goes, the reality of what that means is basically they're saying, yeah, doesn't matter what your perversion, what do you like doing, come to this pub, they'll be well up for it. You know, that people won't have a problem with you for doing it. You know, are you into animals? Do you like dead bodies? And worse. That's all supported. One of the things about that gay pride party that I ended up at, we left within 2 minutes of the man start dressed as a woman when she started singing on stage. We left because I'd been reading the book of Jeremiah the prophet, and he'd been talking about how in a vision God had brought him to the temple and started seeing these other people, and one person stood there with an ink quill or an ink pot, and they were told to mark the heads of anyone that is sighing over the horrific goings on in Jerusalem at the time. And it made me start to think that in these situations, you have to sigh over it. I was very put off. That massively influenced me, and I'm glad, because the Word of God, I believe, does help keep us safe. Always put my faith in God alone, not in the pharmaceutical industry, which is what most people would want, which most people are doing. Right, Susan Burns says, Lady C married a lower royal. She came from South Africa, I believe, and supposedly born in the wrong body, and I don't trust her. A pretend royal. Who's this Lady C? Is that Camilla, yeah? Married a lower royal. She came from South Africa, I believe, and supposedly born in the wrong body. Sorry, who's Lady C? I might be missing that one. Apologies if you've already mentioned them. Lady C said they don't talk at all. NR mentions Divine Sadie made a video on Stacey Dash, plays the role of the Queen. Okay, interesting. We could, it seems to be when I try to do too much on this stream, we start buffering, but let's see how we get on with sharing my screen. We'll have a look for that video then. We're not going to watch it, but we'll just see who this person is that he says. Also, there's a photographer that we want to have a look at. I did have a look, but didn't find it. Alison Jackson, photographer. Am I reading it correct? Yep. Alison Jackson, photographer or photography. Hopefully it's this one. An English artist known for her lookalike photographs. Okay, and then after this we'll look at the one about Sadie. Sorry, yeah. The one suggested by NR about the person who plays the role of the Queen. Or maybe. Duran Duran anniversary. Ooh. Actually, yeah, I think I've come across this person's work before, actually. Yeah, they've done a very good job of... Yeah, they've done a good job with making particularly Camilla and these two at the back, Will and Kate, look very real. Wouldn't take much for them to turn that into a real picture. Just make it look a bit more realistic. Just change the eyes. Yeah, that one's a bit ridiculous, but fair play. Yeah, they've got the look though, haven't they? Huh. Yeah, I've seen some. I mean, yeah, that's a extremely good lookalike images. What does it say? Harry, Meghan, and the Queen opening champagne. Yeah, it's definitely got the feel of a royal photo. Huh. Okay, yep, thanks. And then, thanks for the suggestion, Maria. And who was the other one we were going to look at? Oh, that was another story. Divine Sadie, a video about Stacey Dash. We'll have a look at Stacey Dash. I'm not sure who that is, to be honest. Did I miss an E out, Stacey? Let's see. Okay. Alright, I'll look up the other one. The actual chat video you're referring to. Hang on. We'll open it up on YouTube. This is another video about Rihanna, but yeah, I'm just trying to get onto the person's channel. We might as well hang on. Is it this one? She played the Queen in we saying she played the Queen in a like documentary or something. Or okay. Here is the video suggested. I mean, yeah, I'm not just going to steal other people's works, but I will leave a link to this. And maybe we could watch a few minutes of it at the end. Yeah, but how can they say Elizabeth this? Right, bear with me. I've just put a comment in the live chat. Wherever that is, there it is. Divine Sadie video. Of course, they're not saying... Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm not ruling out that there is some similarities. But yeah, I'll have to invite you guys to watch that one. Either we might watch a few minutes of it at the end, possibly, but for the time... Well, where was the other story I wanted to look at? Bear with me, sorry. Right, there was a story that came out. Yes, you may or may not have seen my latest video about Coronation Street and how they did a story about a footballer collapsing. Here's another one. Well, this is just... Yeah, I hope there's not too big a delay, by the way. I hope playback is at least a bit smooth, even if it is drastically behind. Right. Sorry, just catching up on the live chat. Yeah, by the way, Lady C, is that... you might well have answered me, so I'll try and catch up. My apologies. Someone... Right. Okay, looking at a comment. 2nlit, good to see you in the live chat. Sorry, I mentioned... No, Tone Dial, different person. Thanks for joining us tonight, Tone Dial. I see you shared a link. We will check that one out at a point. Veronica Jean, good to see you in the chat. Remember seeing somewhere, the king will not be king for long. Like real short. Yes. I've lost some links because I had a image up. I know where it was. It was on Twitter. Having a look at Prince Charles and his hands. No, I agree. I also do not think we'll have Charles for very long. But we'll see. Yeah, have you seen the state? Sorry, not the state, but you've got to see Charles's hands. What is going on there? For me, I wonder if it's what you would call an identifier. That's not actually a medical condition, because if it is, then something isn't right. I wonder if they're wearing gloves. I wonder if it's, just something to give the appearance of real flesh, but really it's just soft padded gloves. I mean, this doesn't look right to me, that's for sure. I'm not saying there aren't conditions you can get where maybe your hands do swell up like this, but I don't know, they just look like gloves to me. And Prince Charles changed very, drastically around the start of 2020 when they did the report that he had caught Bullspit 19. After that, he looked kind of completely different, actually. Yeah, so if these hands are real and they're not, as I'm wondering, just something they put on that over an actor to give him the correct looking hand, then yeah, the guy must have something seriously wrong with him. Veronica Jean says Lady Colin Campbell. Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but I saw you were referring to something. I'll have a look at that one. William will usher it all in the goat. Okay. Remember... right. Susan says, Lady C is a self-appointed inside royal giving information. Thank you. We'll check that person out, actually. Oh, Maria, you say you can't see. Hang on. Do you know what? I wonder if there's some sort of delay on the images. I'm sorry. It's been not very good for playback this evening. I can only hope that you're able to, yeah, keep up. Let me just check. Wait, bear with me one sec. Yeah, I've seen some. I mean, yeah, that's some extremely good lookalike images. Yeah, wow, you guys are very behind in the chat. Sorry. Yeah, hopefully what I'm saying and what you're seeing on screen is actually tying in and isn't too off. My apologies if it is. Or is misinformation you're suggesting Lady C? I'll look the person up because I'm not sure who they are. Oh, here's a story I saw about. Apparently there's a heckler who the police dragged out. Good job, they got this perfectly on camera. What do you think? Is this staged? Because they're certainly making... Looks like they've made a big deal about it. Alright, I'm going to put the audio on for this one. I really hope it plays back properly and you can actually see this one. He's got a very prominent position there. I would say that's a plant. They could even have CGI'd him into this shot for all we know. Certainly wouldn't put that past him.
Disgusting! Wait, I've done nothing wrong.
Interesting. Yeah, not everyone's in love with that family. Yeah, I did see a video on 153 News. It was, yeah, just saying about all the African countries that aren't particularly big fans of these people. And of course there's also lots of footage of the royals telling people to get lost and just acting really kind of, this one about him signalling for his aid, like being rude. Nothing new there. Right, I'll look at the person you guys suggested. Veronica, you say her death is not a good sign for the near future. All the stars are cancelling concerts. Something big is brewing. It could signify something big. We will see. We will have a look. Right, bear with me. Let me find out. Lady Colin Campbell. Not heard of this one. So is it just another promotion for trans? Right. Do we really want to see the Wikipedia life through a lens? Yeah, this person... So are they an out transgender then? Because they certainly look like one. I mean, with a name like Colin, or is that the name of their husband? Ooh. At birth, she had genital malformation. Medical advice at the time was to assign her as a male so that she could live what was deemed a normal life, as what was thought of at the time as the superior sex, though her family life was otherwise happy. She had a fused labia and... Okay, so she was born a girl, but they... Wow, okay. On the March 23rd, there's their favourite number, of course, 233. 233. After having only known him for only 5 days, she married Lord Colin Ivor Campbell, the son of the 11th Duke of Argyll. So she's kind of nobility then. Campbell is best known for her books on Diana, the Queen Elizabeth, and the Queen Mother, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say, who knows? I mean, this person here looks like a trans also. Looks like a woman trying to dress as a man. And are we to believe this is a woman that got assigned a man? That looks pretty masculine to me, I gotta say. But okay, yeah, I've not actually heard much about that person. If I'm looking at the correct, yeah. RJ Wild says, we're in another lockdown, they've just not bothered telling us. Well, yeah, they could absolutely shut the world down for the next however long they want. Didn't they say 80? I'm sure I saw some at 11 or 19 days a morning. We'll see. Right, Maria said, lockdown by stealth. Energy cuts will cause shops, pubs, transports to stop operating, and everyone will be back working from home by candlelight. You can't really rule anything out in this one. We did have our water went... it's not that unusual, but yeah, our water went off for a couple of hours the other day. No, it wasn't a couple of hours. Well, it seemed like a couple of hours, but maybe it was more like sort of 45 minutes or so we didn't have any water for. Right. Veronica says, I've honestly not been able to wake anyone. They will be very hungry. RJ says, Vax passed back in November, I heard. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. People start getting the flu and they start coming out with bullspit 19 again. Of course it's going to happen. Veronica's suggesting get your food and water. Good advice. Right. I see Susan's mentioning the jabbed will fall. Well, I came across this story. I was really interested to see Coronation Street cover this about footballers collapsing or fit and healthy people collapsing, almost like they want us to think it's such a normal part of life that they even need to cover it. Apparently at a soccer match, Jameis Ledesma, who's some goalkeeper I think, was widely praised after his quick thinking helped medical staff resuscitate a fan who had had a cardiac arrest. The match was suspended in the 81st minute, 1-8, 8-1, when a man in the end behind the goal collapsed, but Ledesma sprang into action, going into the dugout to retrieve the medical kit with a defibrillator. He sprinted back to the section where the fan collapsed and threw the kit to the medical staff. Yeah, get real. Right. Don't Ridiculous. One of the medical teams went to the stands with a defib and a monitor started... the task. Barcelona offered a second defib in case its use was necessary, and it was brought to the area by the players themselves. How many players can bring out... That sounds absolutely ridiculous. So in this football match with Barcelona, they got all the players to bring the equipment out. Absolute madness. That would never happen. What is it, a publicity shot for the footballers? Fortunately, it was positive, and within a few minutes, the fan was transferred to the ICU, where he remains hospitalised. Barcelona won 4-0 after the match restarted. I would love to see video of this, just to see how fake it looks, of the footballers. We'll look at that name. Let's see. There's bound to be videos, I would have thought. Or will it all be still images? Yeah, I do hope you're able to watch what is on playback. Right, well that's clearly not a video of what happened, surely. Unless it's an advert. What is this? Okay, that isn't an image of... So all the way back here, way back in the crowd, the goalkeeper became aware of which... It's mad. Like, they would like us to believe that they're now having... you know, they have fire safety drills. Now they're doing drills for people in the crowd. I'm waiting for this Twitter video to load. Ledesma is a hero. Bull crap. Media could not be played. Let's try and view it on Twitter. Hang on. Right. Oh, we're approaching 10 o'clock, so I am going to be finishing actually very soon. Yeah, I do have a poorly cat to look at tonight, so am I to believe signal's gone? Something's not... Okay, that's not wanting to work, so... yeah, I just thought it was interesting. They've made a huge deal about this goalkeeper, calling him a hero, massive boost for his profile, and all the Barcelona players wanted to get in on it, and that's why they all helped carry the defibrillator out, which is totally unnecessary. I mean, they've got one perfectly good one, but they wanted the Barcelona medical staff to also, or the Barcelona players also, to get a bit of recognition. Yeah, so he was already... Oh, well. Mad. I guess we're not going to see a video of that, but never mind. Right. Yes. Okay, before we finish, I do want to mention something I've started seeing a lot of now around my local area, and that is doorbell cams. On the one hand, I can see why people would want these things, but on the other, it's for me it's just 1984 coming to fruition. Oh, right. Looks like my computer's taking a bit of a while to load. Oh my goodness, are they now even faking doorbell footage? Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, these are starting to come out everywhere at the moment. And of course, I don't know if you remember that when apparently the police and Amazon had some agreement in a state in America where the police were recommending the doorbell cameras to members of the public who were worried about security. In exchange, Amazon were going to let the police have access to the let's see. Yeah, on the one hand, you know, it's not a bad thing. It is extra security, but Amazon... Let's see if I can find the story, actually. Yeah, if anyone has any subjects they would like us to look at before we finish, we are going to be closing down in a few minutes, particularly as my computer's starting to grind to a halt, which isn't unusual. Hang on. Goodness me. Things are going slow. Right. Amazon doorbell. Right, warning. Was this it? Amazon's home. Yeah, here we go. 2022. I thought it was way further back than this, so it's still going on. Big Brother warning. Not that I believe a word that the scum newspapers say. In a way, this is just promoting the actual doorbell things. Thousands of Ring doorbell users after Amazon gave police footage without owner permission. So they're basically telling you that Amazon home surveillance company provided footage to police without the owner's consent or warrants. Ring has shared homeowners' footage with the law enforcement without their knowledge at least 11 times this year. The incidents were described right in the letter. Amazon said that under its policies, Ring reserves the right to respond immediately to urgent new law enforcement requests for information in cases involving imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to any person. Well, the only way they would know of imminent physical serious death is if they're monitoring these doorbells in real time. Otherwise, how would they know how would they have that information? Amazon also noted that police are required to fill out a special emergency request form. Yeah, I bet they always have to do that. In all the 11 known cases this year, police requests met the imminent danger criteria. And they also revealed that it's currently partnered... that Ring is partnered with 2161 police departments and fire departments that can request surveillance from doorbells. Unfortunately, guys, I ought to take a phone call, so I'm going to have to... I'm not going to finish it completely. I'll be back in a minute, alright? Bear with me. Sorry for this interruption. Right, sorry guys. Yeah, actually that is, I think, where I'm going to have to call it a night for tonight anyway.
Hey everyone, I just thought I'd show you this.
10 p.m. Oh, hang on. Going to the wrong pages, my apologies. Right, yeah, we are going to have to start calling it a night there anyway. So, let's see. Do you know what? I have got...
Hey everyone, I just thought I'd show you this interesting parallel, according to the mainstream media, The Independent, regarding the phony fake royal wedding of Harry and Meghan. What they're telling us, thousands of
Right. Oh, I'm all over the shop. My apologies. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we then? Okay, so we've inspected some of the images. If I get any that don't, if I come across any other images of the Queen, actually, yeah, there was one thing I wanted to let you guys know about. Let's see. I see someone saying good night. Yes. Let me see. Hang on. Who's saying good night? Was it KG or Maria? Right. Yeah, Maria says his fingers look like pig trotters. Correct. Piers Morgan was asked to sum up his memory of the Queen, and he said goat, and then he said the greatest of all time. Yeah, that sounds about right. As I said, her legs do look partially like horses, or I don't know, some sort of creature. Strange looking person. Yeah, this story of the Queen, it certainly isn't going away anytime soon. I don't want to completely exclusively cover the Queen. I never would. So I will be back. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to let you guys know about this. Do any of you, or have any of you ever heard of Gilded? Because, let me just share my display again. I have started a Gilded server. Apparently it's very similar to Discord. And it's basically a message room. It's as easy as clicking a link. In fact, if I had more time, maybe I'll come back and show this, because it's nothing going on in there yet. I haven't left any. There's a general channel, and I haven't left any comments yet. I could give you, I don't know if it's worth putting a link out to it yet. If anyone wants to join, get in early. I'll probably make you a moderator. How do I invite? Right, invite to server. I can't say I'm particularly gonna be using it I don't know how active I'm gonna be on this yeah, there is an option for a forum, so maybe I'll try and make myself more active on there. Gilded link. And I don't know if I have to authorize people coming in or what. If I do, then I'll do it as soon as I can. Yeah, let me just let me show you how kind of easy it is to use. So, where are we? Hang on. Let's go back to that live chat, if I could find it. Yeah, so that link I just shared, we will click on it when the computer warms up. Open link in new tab. And you will be brought to this bit. Hang on, we're getting there. It says I've already joined, but when you get here, it'll ask you to use a name, and it's as easy as that. You just come on to this site, put your name in, view chrono, and yeah, there you are. Hang on. Let's see if I can just do a demonstration of how piece of piece it is. Don't be surprised if no one's in there. Right, hang on. Let's see. Let me try something a minute. A browser. Hopefully this won't take me too long to figure out. But I'll see if I'm able to... That's ridiculous. Yeah. That isn't surprising. Okay, I'll have to just show you on the web browser. Yeah, I might... That's the new thing at the minute. A Gilded server. I did it because another channel that I follow, Nathan Oakley 1980, he set up on this channel, and it said I'll make a server, and I thought about doing it on Discord in the past, but I just thought I would try it on Gilded instead, because I never really used Discord, so maybe I'll be able to use this a bit more. We'll see. Yeah, if anyone wants to join, there's a link in the description. Okay, with that, I'm going to call it to a close for tonight. Apologies if it was too abrupt an end. Oh, goodness, what am I doing? I'm all over the shop. Yeah, I think not doing it on a Sunday's thrown me off a little bit, so my apologies if the stream hasn't been brilliant tonight. I will be back again. I'm going to try and do another live stream before the end of the week. We'll see what I can do. I'm not sure what time of day or what the subject. Maybe just to talk anyone through Gilded. Okay, I want to thank the following people: Veronica Jean, Susan Byrne, KG, RJ, AJ Wild. Let's see, Maria Ellender, Susan Byrne, NR. And was there anyone else? If I've missed anyone. I know we saw Linda Mack, Tone Dial. And Affected Area, also tuned in earlier. Yeah. Have I missed anyone? If so, I'm hugely sorry. But I do appreciate everyone who takes the time to comment in the live chat. And, in fact, this Gilded place is an easy way for you guys to carry on chatting. I might not always be there, but once you're allowed into the room, it will be... I think it's just a case of me letting you in. I'm not too sure how easy it is, and then you can meet in the general thing. There is an option to add other channels. You can do a chat where you just talk, stream in where you can do videos, a voice chat, and a forum. Where was the forum? Yeah, I might do a forum and maybe a voice chat. I don't know. We'll see what I set up in here. But yeah, if you wanna continue the chat while we're not streaming, then Gilded is the place to do it. It is in the... Did I not have the screen on? My apologies. Yeah. Gilded is the place to keep chatting even after we're done. But no one's in there yet because I literally only started it earlier. Maybe no one will join. I don't know. It's a free chat room though. Alright, well, if I don't see anyone in there, I will be back on here at some point. I would also thank everyone who took the time to tune in tonight. And I also want to thank Linda Mack, as always, for supporting me over on Patreon. Right, I'm going to put our tune on. Right, I do have a video to play out with tonight. It's about similar to Doorbell Cam. It's about, is Big Brother watching you? Or Big Brother wants to come in, I think I actually called it. It's only about 3 minutes long, but once this video plays out, I will be ending the live stream. Big thanks to everyone who has tuned in tonight, and sorry if playback wasn't particularly special. My apologies. Sorry if I haven't seen anyone's comments, but yeah, I'll be back again soon. If not before, I'll be back probably next Sunday. But no, I'm pretty sure I will manage to do another live stream before the end of the week. It might be over on Chronicles of the Unconvinced, so consider subscribing to me over there if you're not already. Alright, have a wonderful time until I next see you on YouTube. Here is Big Brother Wants to Come In from December 2019. Good night all, take care.